All right. So, first full race, CSRL. We had a great race, couple of races last night, despite the fact that the track was covered in water. It was pouring down rain, thunderstorm weather. The track was flooded for the first race. Still very wet for the second race. But we had some very, very good racing, very good driving by everybody to deal with those circumstances and that kind of weather. Really impressed with what we had last night. And so here we are in the first full race, our first 1 hour race. And excited to see what's going to happen because everybody was very fast in practice and very fast in qualifying. I think those wet laps and white knuckling around the track with all those wet conditions actually made everybody on the track faster once it was dry. Everybody gained. We had guys running in the 124s here at Brands Hatch, which is really fast. Um, Jave Roman, who's in first, actually was at a 124.099. He almost broke into the 123s. Doherty was only a little bit behind him. I think he was zero point 0.7 seconds behind. And then Alex Capellan was just behind him. Kyle Macedo surprised everyone. He's the youngest driver in the league. He came out of nowhere and was really fast in qualifying, qualified fourth. Mike Gerhardt, he's in fifth. John Snow is in sixth. Robert Everett is in seventh. David Macedo is in eighth. Craig Everett is in ninth. Andre Marchishin is in 10th, and Claudius Harding is starting off in 11th position. It's a tight field. The front runners in this group are all very close in lap times, very close in their driving and everything during practice and qualifying. Jay definitely had an edge in qualifying, but everybody was really fast. And we know Mike Doherty won the race last night, the second race. He did a great job withstanding the elements and winning the race in the rain. Alex Capellan, I think, has led every single race we've run so far at some point. Like I said, Kyle Macedo, he's kind of an unknown. He was in the middle of the pack battling with his brother David Macedo throughout almost the entire race last night in the rain, and it was an incredible battle, those two guys going back and forth all race. But Kyle, he really qualified well for tonight, so we're not sure what we're going to get there, what we're going to see from him. Mike Gerhardt is always in the hunt in that Lamborghini. We saw him have a really unfortunate couple of spins in the race last night, or he had the fastest pace in the wet last night. So if he didn't have a couple of spins, he would have won the race because he was close even with those couple of spins. So Mike is always dangerous. Jon Snow, Jon Snow is extremely consistent, and he's faster here at Brands Hatch than he was earlier in the week. In practice, he was not really that fast, and then tonight, for whatever reason, he was really fast. So he must have put in a lot of practice this week to really cut his lap times way down. So Robert Everett, don't know much about him or Craig Everett. Those guys, I think, are both from the UK, and we don't know a lot of details about them yet. David Macedo, same thing. Don't know much about him. I know he's the brother of Kyle Macedo, but I'm not sure much else about him. Andre Marchishin had a great race last night in the rain, battled the entire time, and then Claudius is he's representing the Ferrari and pulling up the back of the field here. So here we come. We're coming down the front stretch. Everybody's formed up pretty good. You can see that we are green flag. Okay, so we're green, green, green. Oh, Roman gets a slow start. Capellan had to back out of it. He was all over him for a second there. Coming down, Doherty is dropping back a little bit. Vroman nice and tight on the inside there. Capellan going around the outside. Doherty holds on to third for now. Mike Gerhardt right on his heels. Oh, Vroman stepped out a little bit, almost lost the rear end there, and Capellan is going to take the lead, and Mike Gerhardt is up into third. You see Mike Doherty back there. Looks like Kyle Macedo is trying to make a move on Mike Doherty, and he has pulled that move off. So he's up into fourth place. Mike Doherty behind him, and then Robert Everett right behind him. But let's take a look at the front here. You see Mike Gerhardt get a little loose there, and it looks like, yeah, Kyle Macedo has moved up into third place. Gerhardt trying to hold off Doherty for fourth. All right, so Capellan's in the lead. Coming down here, Vroman hot on his heels, and Kyle Macedo in third. Alex Capellan has led every race that we have ran in our league. He's been in every practice race. He has led the race at some point. He's had a couple of mechanical failures that really hurt him in the races. We're hoping to see better for him tonight. Vroman's nice and tight on him there. And Kyle Macedo is not falling back. He is keeping right on Jay Vroman there, as you can see. Let's take a look back here. We got Robert Everett hot on the heels of Mike Doherty, and John Snow right on his heels, followed by David Macedo. All right, let's get back to the front here. This battle for first place is tight. 1, 2, 3 all together. Capellan nice and smooth. Vroman right on his heels, and Kyle Macedo right on him. This is shaping up to be quite a battle here. So we got Capellan, Vroman, Kyle Macedo, Mike Gerhardt, Doherty, Robert Everett, John Snow, David Macedo, Claudius Harding, Andre Marcheshin, and Craig Everett. That's our running order right now, and it looks like Kyle Macedo is really on the heels of Vroman now. This is getting really, really close here. Capellan taking that turn nice and tight. Vroman runs a little wide there. Manages to keep second place. Let's take a look on board with Vroman. We got Vroman here. He's in second, right on the heels of Capellan. You can see in his rear view there that he's got Macedo right behind him. So a lot of pressure on Vroman right now. He's trying to keep up with the leader, but he's also trying to keep ahead of Macedo. Really good racing from these three drivers right here. Oh, Vroman gets a little loose there. Manages to hold on to it. And let's take a look at Macedo, the view from his position. He's really, really digging in good. I don't know where all this speed came from Kyle Macedo. In practice, he wasn't nearly this fast, but in qualifying, he came to life, and now in the race, he's challenging two of the fastest drivers in the league right now. Looking down the outside a little bit, thinks better of that. I wouldn't try the outside on that hill right there. That's not going to work out. All right, down into the second turn here, all the way down to first gear. Nice and tight. Everybody looks good through there. All right. Let's take a look back in the pack a little bit. We got Mike Doherty running in fifth. He is 1.9 seconds off of Gerhardt. And there's a little bit of a gap between him and Robert Everett. There's some room there. Let's take a look at John Snow. John Snow's got his own problems to worry about. He's got David Macedo hot on his tail. He's trying to run down Robert Everett, but he's probably also watching his mirrors because he's got David all over him. We got Andre Marcheshin, followed by Craig Everett. Where's Claudius? Claudius Harding, here he is. You can see David Macedo up ahead of him, so he's trying to keep pace with those guys up there. Alright. Some good racing all over the track. Let's get back to the front. Alex Capellan still leading the race. We got, it's showing Vroman in second, but Macedo has taken second from him. In fact, let's go back and take a look at that. Let's see how that came about. Alright, so here's Macedo following Vroman, keeping the pressure on. Vroman gets loose. Oh, almost loses it. Almost went around there. Macedo takes second and begins his chase to try to run down Capellan. Vroman with a nice recovery still holds on to third and trying to keep the pressure on Kyle Macedo. Great racing by these guys. They've been close ever since the beginning of the race. Looking really good for those guys. Let's take a look here. We got David Macedo still right on the rear bumper of John Snow. Snow keeping it nice and tight though. He's not giving up any position. He's just trying to deal with Robert Everett, who's in front of him. Alright, back to the front. Capellan still leading the race. Kyle Macedo doing his best to run him down. Jay Vroman's falling back a little bit now in third place, and looks like he's about to have to deal with Michael Gerhardt. Michael Gerhardt was our fastest last night in the wet. He was the fastest driver on the track. Managed to finish second despite having two incidents or two spins off the track last night in the rain. He still managed to finish second because he was really fast throughout the race. Mike Doherty took the win in that race. You can see Kyle Macedo is really applying the pressure to Alex Capellan right now. Vroman in the background back there, you see him in the mirror, but Kyle Macedo is really pushing it right now, trying to look for any kind of mistake or any kind of room that he can get around Alex Capellan. Capellan is really solid, and he must have nerves of steel to be able to keep the lead with these guys taking turns pressuring him like this for first place. Kyle Macedo all the way down to third gear right there, keeping the heat on. Ooh, just holds on to it through there. All right, he's really staying close to Capellan. This battle for first, this is really intense. These guys are putting together some great laps, all 1, 2, 3, right close together. And there you see Kyle Macedo taking a little peek around the outside, but there's not going to be anything you can do there, and not in that part of the track. Keeping the pressure on. Let's take a look back here. Doherty starting to pressure Mike Gerhardt, looking to take away fourth place. Doherty qualified second but fell back in the first few laps and is now running at fifth, trying to keep the pressure on. Alright, let's get back to the front, make sure we don't miss anything. So we got Vroman, who's reeled in Kyle Masita. So Kyle doesn't have, I don't know if he can worry about Alex Capellan right now. He's got to worry about Vroman. Vroman was the fastest guy on the track this entire event. Practice, qualifying, and you would assume he would be the fastest in the race. You see Vroman take a little peek to the outside right there, but he didn't have a run on him. Kyle Masita runs a little bit wide, but he's still got plenty of speed. But here comes Vroman down the inside. They're approaching the downhill section coming into turn one. Capellan holds it tight. Masita is on the outside. Vroman trying to finish the pass here, coming into this tight right-hander, and he's going to finish it. He's going to get second place. So these guys are switching positions, and I'm sure Alex Capellan is happy to see them battling for second. Oh, and then you see Vroman get loose there. He's had some problems with that turn. That's the same turn that he crashed on last night. He spun out in that same section of the track. He and Jon Snow both had an incident, one right after the other in that same spot of the track. But anyway, I'm sure Capellan is happy to see these guys battling back here because it's given him a little bit of breathing room. He's pulled a little bit of a gap, just trying to stay out in front here. We got Mike Doherty, who's moved up into fourth. He passed Gerhardt. Let's go back and take a look at how that happened. Let's see, how did Doherty get the position? Alright, so Doherty's hot on the heels of Gerhardt here, coming down the hill. Oh, Gerhardt gets a little loose there. Yeah, he got a little loose and just ended up on the outside of the turn and respectfully just let Doherty get on by. Good move by him to just try to fall in behind him and get back on the pace. That's some good driving right there out of both of these guys. Alright, so Capellan, he's got a pretty nice gap here. Let's take a look at Kyle Masita trying to get back in the hunt. Vroman keeping the pressure on him. Let's see, we got Jon Snow still followed by David Masita. These guys are having a nice little battle back here. Robert Everett behind them. Claudius Harding. Claudius running in 9th position. He's kind of on his own right now. There's not anybody too close to him right now. Let's take a look back here at the front. Okay, so Masito is still holding on to second place. He's really fast on that back half of the track. He's got a lot of speed back there. That's where he keeps catching these guys. And Vroman is not letting him get away. They're both trying to reel in Capellan. Alex is fast. He didn't have pole position, but he had really good speed. Qualified third. He was just a little bit off the leader. So he's very, very fast, and we've seen him lead a lot in our league races, in our league qualifying and practices. He's always right up there in the front. So it's no surprise he's winning right now. These guys are starting to spread out just a little bit. Kyle Masita running a great race so far. Let's take a look on board with Vroman. See the view here. He can see these guys. He's got both of his targets right in front of him. Looking really good. Kyle Masita, he's reeling them in. He's reeling in Alex Capellan. Alex, steady as ever, is just holding on, keeping it going. Let's take a look at Gerhardt. Gerhardt's trying to keep pace with Mike Doherty. job getting down the hill there. That looks good. All right, so Masita, he's reeled in Capellan again. Capellan just can't pull away from these guys. They keep taking turns reeling him in, catching up to him, but they can't pass him because he's solid all the way around the track. So here's Masita really trying to get a run in the slipstream here, coming down this long straight high-speed right-hander. A little bit off the track there, but keeps it under control. He's right on Capellan right now. Let's take a look on board. Kyle Macedo is really fast on this back half of the track. He keeps running these guys down in the back half of the track. He's really quick back here. Just not quite in reach of Capellan. Not close enough to really make any move on him, but just trying to keep the pressure on. Oh, he catches up to him pretty good coming down the hill here. Gets a nice run. All the way down into first gear. Capellan nice and tight, but Masita is all over him. Really good racing by both of these drivers. And Broman, of course, is right back there behind him. He's not out of touch either. One mistake and he's going to be all over these guys. So you see Capellan there coming up the hill. Masita, boy, he's really coming up close now. Oh, little bump there. Little bump coming into the right-hander. Oh, runs a little wide. Runs a little wide. He's losing it a little bit, and there he goes. Man, blistering pace by Kyle Masita, but unfortunately couldn't hold on to it after running a little wide on that right-hander right there. Got a little bit out of the racing line because he got so close he bumped Capellan. Unfortunate for him. So Doherty still running in fourth. He's trying to reel in Jay Vroman, and he's making up time on him. He's slowly reeling them in. John Snow behind Mike Gerhardt. Coming up in sixth is John Snow there. Let's see where Kyle Masita ended up settling back in at sixth. So he's running sixth in front of Robert Everett and David Macedo. Oh, wouldn't it be crazy if Kyle Macedo and David Macedo end up doing battle again this race? Last night, those guys battled the entire race. It was back and forth, taking the lead or taking the position back and forth from each other. It was a really fun battle to watch. But I think Kyle has a little more speed tonight than David does, though. So he might be chasing back up towards the front here. So here we are back at the leader, Capellan. Still holding strong. And where is Roman? Roman is not far behind him. Just a little over 2 seconds behind. More importantly, he's got Mike Doherty, who is closing in on him. We haven't been running that long in CSRL, but Mike Doherty has won more races than anybody. He won the race last night with his consistent lap times in the wet conditions where a lot of guys were struggling. He was consistent the entire race. And he is reeling in Jay Vroman right now. You see Mike Gerhardt in the background there. He's hoping these guys slow each other down so he can get back in the mix with them. John Snow kind of running on his own right now in fifth place. Not too much around him. You can see the cars ahead up there. Let's take a look on the onboard for him. Coming into the high-speed right-hander. You can see the cars ahead. He's just got to dig in and see if he can run those guys down. Alright, let's take a look back at Capellan here. Capellan, he's coming up on some lap traffic, so that is going to be Craig Everett that Capellan is coming up on. Let's see. Capellan has pulled up a pretty nice gap on Vroman and Doherty. Doherty has closed in on Vroman and is putting the pressure on right now. Vroman, it's hard to know what you're gonna get with him. He's the fastest guy on the track tonight in qualifying and in practice, but he's had a few times where he almost lost that Ferrari, so he's lucky to still be running in second, trying to find the speed that he had earlier and catch back up to Capellan, who's about 4.5 seconds ahead right now. Capellan, I'm sure he's just happy to finally be away from everybody because he's had pressure this entire race. He's running a really great race. Really, really great race. Mike Gerhardt running in 4th. Mike Gerhardt is very quietly having a great race. He's trying to run down Mike Doherty if he can get past this lap car here. Craig Everett, you see him flashing his lights there, and Everett lets him go. Good job by Craig Everett there to just let him go. All right, let's see. Capellan, Vroman. Oh, Doherty's in the pits. I was wondering where he went. He's in the pits right now, so he's going to pit early. These guys are running a 60-minute race with a 20-minute pit window, so the 20-minute pit window is right in the center of the race. Pit window opens at 20 minutes into the race and closes at 40 minutes into the race. So Mike Doherty, running in 3rd, tries for the undercut. I'm assuming that's his thinking, is he can undercut these guys by pitting earlier in the race. You see Vroman here. He's got a little bit of room to breathe right now. He's about 4 seconds behind Capellan, and he doesn't have anybody right on his back door. Gerhardt is 3.8 seconds behind him. Gerhardt up into 3rd with Mike Doherty pitting. Now this is going to get hard to understand because different guys are pitting at different times. So, and it's not telling me on this heads-up display who has and hasn't pitted. So we're just going to have to kind of figure it out as we go. You see Capellan here still holding on to the lead, looking good. He is 3.799 seconds ahead of Vroman. So Vroman's eating into that lead a little bit. Let's take a look at onboard for Vroman. Running in 2nd place, just under 4 seconds behind Capellan. You can see Capellan going over the hill up there. So we're 15 laps into the race. Everybody has spread out a little bit. And John Snow is up in the 4th place with some guys pitting. So John is having a nice race. He's really looking solid. And he is gaining on Mike Gerhardt. He's closed that gap down pretty good. He's doing very well. We got Kyle Macedo, followed by Dan Macedo. Oh boy, there's somebody goes around right there. I think that was Craig Everett. Yes, that was. Craig Everett spins it around, coming down towards the final turn. Andre Marchishin running in ninth. You can see Claudius Harding up ahead of him, trying to catch up to him. Let's see here. Okay, we got Capellan still in the lead. He's 3.6 seconds ahead of Vroman, so Vroman is slowly closing that gap. We know Vroman has a lot of speed. We know he was the fastest before, and he's starting to run down the leader again. But he's been up there before. He's been all over Capellan a couple of times, along with Kyle Masita earlier in the race. But none of these guys can do anything with him once they catch him. Capellan is holding everybody off. Okay, we got Michael Gerhardt running in third place. He is 5.5 seconds off Roman. Let's see what it looks like here. You can see Roman up there. Oh wait, that's not Roman. I think that's Robert Everett up in front of him right there. Yeah, that's Robert Everett. See, he's off the track there for a second. Vroman down to 3 seconds off Capellan. So Capellan's running a really great race, but he's not the fastest guy on the track. In any given lap, I'm not sure he's consistent. But these guys keep running him down, and then he pulls away. And then they run him down, and he pulls away. So he's just trying to hold on to first, run a nice tight race. So far, it's working out for him. Let's take a look at John Snow here. He's running down Gerhardt. And looking really good doing it. Nice and clean through there. He's closing this gap down. He's caught up to Gerhardt now. Oh, and Gerhardt gets loose and goes off the track. Oh, wow. And Craig Everett's off the track, or Robert Everett's off the track. John Snow was able to navigate all that pretty well. Nice driving by him. So Mike Gerhardt just seems like he just can't quite get the rear end of that car to behave itself. He's really fast in the Lambo, but he struggled with the rear end of it last night, and it looks like he's just having a fight of the lot again today. Alright, so back to the front. Alex Capellan got about a 2.2 second lead on Jay Vroman. Roman would love to see Capellan make a mistake, but I don't think we've seen a mistake out of Alex this whole race. He's been steady and consistent the whole time. So John Snow still showing the pace that he showed in tonight's practice and qualifying. The rest of the week during practice, he was never this fast, but he found some time between Wednesday and today. He found some serious lap time because he is really challenging. He's running third place. He's 8 seconds behind Broman and looking really good so far. He has not pitted yet, I don't believe. I don't believe he's pitted yet. So he's running on older tires. Alright, so let's see here. We got Jay Vroman coming around. Looks like, is that Kyle Masita? Yeah, Kyle Masita. So I guess Kyle is now a lap down. It's a little hard to tell with everybody being on a different pit strategy. So Jon Snow is up into second. Alex Capellan has pitted. That's why, okay. So that's why Jay is in the lead and Jon Snow is in second, is because Alex Capellan pitted on lap 19. Or lap 20. So let's see how that strategy works out for him. Jon Snow still hasn't pitted. He's running in second. Jay Vroman still hasn't pitted, running in first now. But he's got 19 laps on those tires, about to be 20. And he's still not going to pit. He's running a pretty good race on these tires, so I guess he's going to keep it out there a little bit longer. We got David Macedo up into fourth place. Now some of these guys, like we know Mike Doherty has pitted, Alex Capellan has pitted. I'm not sure about the back of the pack who has and who hasn't pitted, but Mike Doherty, he didn't take tires on his pit stop, and he undercut everybody on his pit stop. So it was a really quick pit stop, and he is running in fifth right now. And he's definitely the most consistent driver in the league so far as lap after lap consistency. I guess he's betting on he can stretch those tires with his consistent driving the whole length of the race. So quite a move by him. You see Vroman there. Let's see if we can get a look at what the lap time is for Vroman, how much he's fallen off with those older tires, if he's fallen off at all. Let's see when he crosses the line here. Let's see. Oh, I thought it would show his lap time. Okay, so Vroman, there it is. His last was a 126.8. 126.8. So he's definitely fallen off a little bit on the older tires. 127 is Jon Snow's last lap. He hasn't pitted either. We're up to lap 21 on these older tires. Okay, so David Macedo is in the pits right now. He finally pulled it in. So when is our leader gonna pit? We got Jay Vroman. It's always a question of how much time are you going to make up with fresh tires. So, you know, we got Mike Doherty, who's up into third place now with the undercut. Let's see if we can see how far behind Jay Vroman he is. Waiting for the splits to come up. Vroman passing the pit again, so he's still not coming in. Last lap was a 126.2, so he's consistent. He's consistently doing well. Jon Snow, 126.9, so he's slowing down a little bit there. Let's see what Doherty's running on those fresh tires. His last was a 127.5, so not a great lap for him. Let's see what this one comes out like. Mike Doherty not taking tires, doing the quick pit stop. It's a 127.5. So he's not putting down blazing fast lap times, but the undercut, let's see how this works out. Vroman in the lead. He doesn't have any pressure on him right now. Jon Snow is almost 10 seconds behind him. And judging by the lap times we've been seeing, he's He's actually losing time to Jay. He's not gaining on him. So he's not under any threat by Jon Snow right now. And here he comes into the pit. Okay, so the leader's coming in, Roman. He's a little contact with the wall there. He's coming in to pit. Will this strategy pay off for Mike Doherty? Not taking tires. Last timestamp says 40 seconds behind. Doherty coming down the final turn here. Jon Snow is now our leader, and Roman is still in the pits. So here comes Doherty coming down the front stretch. He's going to pull past Roman and take over second place. Okay, so the undercut is working at least for now. Let's see where Alex Capellan is. He is quite a bit behind. Ooh, we see some close race in there between Roman and Capellan. So that actually was, I believe that is for position right now. Capellan and Roman will know once the times pop up here. So Jon Snow is our leader right now. He's got 23 laps on these tires, and he is coming through the final turn, and he's still not pitting. So he's going for the long strategy. He's going to try to stay out as long as he can. It is a mandatory pit stop, so he does have to pit at some point, but he's going to push it, see what he can do. Let's take a look at what his last lap time was. It was a 1:26.9. So at least he's in the 1:26s. But Mike Doherty's last lap was a 1:26.5, so he's lapping faster on those old tires than Jon Snow is on his old tires. Coming down the hill, 1:27.8 was Mike Doherty's last lap, so he definitely slowed down on that lap. Okay, so here we got Capellan followed by Roman. So this is a battle for third place. Capellan trying to hold off the pole sitter Roman here. Mike Gerhardt's about 20 seconds behind this battle, and everybody's kind of spread out after that. So let's see what Roman can do here, if he can do anything with Capellan. Capellan has been a tough target to tackle tonight. He really hasn't been passed at all tonight, hardly, even though he's been pressured a ton. See, Roman is all over him here. Whoa, coming in a little close there on that hard right-hander. Capellan's steady as ever. He's looking really good in third right now. But Roman has the speed. Roman, on those fresh tires, he's got to get... Oh my gosh, and there goes Capellan into the wall. Man, the car just... Let's take another look at that. The car just jumped out from underneath him right there, coming down the hill. Tough luck for him. Race, such a good race, 25 great laps, and right there the back end just starts to step out. And if you've ever driven the Porsche in ACC, you know that once that rear end starts to go on the Porsche, you are in trouble. There's not much you can do. So we got Jon Snow. He's still our leader. He's running on tires that are 25 laps old. Let's see if he pits this lap coming around. Coming around final turn here, and he's going to pit. He's coming in. All right, so Jon Snow went with the long strategy, 25 laps on tires, well beyond the halfway point of the race. So he's going to have fresh tires at the end of the race, but how is this all going to shake out? Because we got Mike Doherty. This looks very familiar. Mike Doherty is about to take the place from Jon Snow the same way he took it from Roman when he undercut earlier. Jon Snow's still in the pits. Roman moving around some lap traffic here. And Doherty in the lead. That's something we've been saying a lot this week and last week. Mike Doherty, we call him Old Faithful. This guy, consistent. Every race, he's right there. Even if he's not the fastest, at the end of the race, he's always right there. So Mike Doherty on those old tires, let's see what he can do. Took the gamble to not take tires. Let's see what his last lap time was. You can see he's not pushing very hard, just nice and steady. Those tires have got to be giving him a hard time at this point. But he's as consistent as ever. I'm trying to wait and see what his last lap time was, but it's not coming up. So here he comes down the final turn. Okay, so Jay Vroman is 13 seconds off Mike Doherty, but he's got fresh tires, or fresher tires. Alex Capellan is 7.8 seconds off of Vroman. So Vroman's got open track. Okay, last lap for Mike Doherty was a 1:27.3. Let's see what Jay Vroman is doing right now. He's dealt with the lap traffic. He's moving along, trying to run down. Now it's up to 14.4 seconds. He's behind Doherty. His last lap was a 1:28, probably partially because of dealing with lap traffic. So let's see what happens to Vroman on this next lap here. We got Jon Snow running in 4th place. He's on fresh tires. He's the last guy to pit this race. His last lap was a 1:33. But I think that was the lap he pit on, so that's why it's so slow, 1:33. Capellan running 3rd. Still able to hold it together after that spin earlier. Okay, let's take a look. We got Doherty in front. Let's take a look on board. See how Doherty's doing with these tires. Coming down the hill here, this should be a good example of how the... Oh boy, he really slowed down coming over the edge there. He is babying those tires. Trying to get every bit he can out of them. If he can pull off the win on the same set of tires, this would be quite a strategy move that he made. And then you got Vroman back here. Vroman, much fresher tires. His last lap was a 1:25.0. So Vroman, 1:26.7 was Doherty's last lap. So that's almost 2 seconds faster in the last lap for each of these guys. Vroman really running a nice race. "28 laps into the race right now. Does he have enough time to catch Doherty. He's much faster than Doherty right now, but can he catch him? Okay, everybody's kind of spread out right now. Kyle Masita, let's take a look where he's at. Yeah, he's kind of all on his own, running in 6th place right now. David Masita running in 7th place. No surprise those guys are 6 and 7. They, like I said earlier, they spent the entire race battling yesterday. Robert Everett back in 8th place. Oh no, and Andre Marchishin just got disqualified. I think he was trying to serve, and yeah, we just lost Andre Marchishin. I think he was trying to serve a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pits and got caught speeding in the pits a second time and was DQ'd. So tough race for Marchishin. Marchishin was very competitive last night in the rain. Had a lot of great battles in the middle of the pack and really had a nice race last night. But a tough way to finish the day here. As we take a look at Doherty, he's 29 laps on those tires. We'll see what his lap time is this time around. Vroman has shortened the gap to 10.9 seconds. 125.9 for Doherty last lap. Let's take a look at Vroman. 124.8. So Vroman is really making some progress here. He's trying to run down Doherty. Two different strategies. It's all about, can they both be consistent till the end? If they're both consistent to the end, it's going to come right down to the end. Capellan holding on to 3rd, but he's 11.8 seconds back of Vroman, so I don't think Vroman is really fast right now. I don't think he's going to be able to run him down before the end of the race. We've got John Snow dealing with some lap traffic, but John, I think he is making up ground on Capellan right now. Let's take a look at the onboard here. Can we see Capellan? No, we can't see him on this long stretch here. Yes, Snow is 7.2 seconds behind Capellan, so we got to keep a close eye on that right there. We got Michael Gerhardt running in 5th. He's kind of got room in front and behind him. He's got about 8 seconds in front of him and about 15 seconds behind him, so he's got room to breathe. All right, back to our leader, Mike Doherty. Let's take a look at how these tires are holding up. Coming down here, he's definitely having to wheel it a little bit through these turns. Whoa, you see him getting a little loose there. It takes a lot of patience to race on older tires. He's got 31 laps on his tires at this point. And these high-speed corners right here in this section of the track, that's a scary thing to be dealing with, because you gotta hit these bumpers just right, keep enough speed that you're not giving it up, but also keep it under control on slick tires. You see him almost come around there. He's definitely fighting with it. Quite a bit of counter steering going on. Meanwhile, Vroman in 2nd place has cut the lead down to 9.4 seconds. Capellan is 14.366 behind Vroman, so he's losing ground to Vroman. He's not gaining, he's losing ground, and Snow is gaining on him. Snow is at 6.8 seconds behind Capellan. So Alex, he's got to be just digging in right now, trying to hold on as the race goes on. He doesn't have to worry about the guy in front of him, because I don't think he's going to have enough time left to make anything happen there. He's just got to stay in front of John Snow. jump back on board with Jay Vroman running in second. You see Claudius Harding up ahead here. Harding is running in 10th place right now. He's 3 laps down. So what you want to see here is you want to see Vroman. Oh boy, okay, Claudius off the track there, bounced off the wall a little bit. Worked out well for Vroman, gave him a clear space to just move right around him. So he can keep making up ground on Doherty. Whoa, almost loses it there in the second to last corner of the track. Coming into the last corner here. He's at 8 seconds. 8 seconds is the gap. 32 laps into the race. 33 laps into the race, excuse me. Let's see what the time split is after Vroman just finished that last lap. He is still at 8 seconds, so it's an 8-second gap. 33rd lap of the race. John Snow has cut the lead on Capellan down to 5. Oh, it was there for a second and then it disappeared. He ran a 1:25.8 last lap. The gap is 5.3 seconds, so he's trying to reel in Capellan. You can see, looks like Robert Everett up there in front of him, but he is not racing Snow for position. You can see Capellan ahead of Robert Everett up there. He's fallen back on Vroman pretty good. He's now 16 seconds behind Vroman. Capellan, see what his last lap was. So fast at the beginning of the race, but seems like he's lost a little bit of pace, probably a difference in tire strategy here. He was one of the guys who pitted a little bit earlier, and I think his tires are just going away from him. Trying to see what his lap time is going to be this time around. 5.6 seconds is Snow behind him. Let's see what the lap time is here for Capellan. .34 laps in the books for him. Oh, gets a little loose there coming down the hill. His last lap was a 1:26.4. 1:26.4. And John Snow's last lap was a 1:26.5. So he didn't make up any. He actually lost a little bit of ground to Capellan there on that lap. All right, so let's take a look at Vroman. Vroman's last lap was a 1:24.7. That was his best lap of the race. So he is moving right now. Down in the 1:24s. 5.5 seconds now off of Doherty with 34 laps in the race. You see Vroman get a little out off the track there, but he managed to hold it together. Let's see what Doherty's time is here. 1:26.8. So he is 2 seconds slower per lap right now. So Doherty's just trying to hold on. He's just trying to keep it going. You can see Vroman back there in the background coming down the front stretch. He's had a great race. He tried for the undercut, didn't take tires. The undercut worked. He ended up in the lead and far out in the lead. But now he's struggling with these old tires. Let's see if he can pull it off. If anybody can drive on old worn tires, it's definitely Mike Doherty. He's consistent. That's how he kills you, is with his consistency. Let's see him come through these high-speed corners here. Well, that looked pretty good, nice and steady. He's managing to hold it together. He's just not putting down lap times that are fast enough to run away from anybody. So, and Vroman is putting down very fast lap times. You can see right there, you saw Doherty coming around the corner. Vroman just got to keep his head down and keep lapping. 35 laps into the race. He's 4.6 seconds off Doherty. This is going to be really interesting at the end of the race here. Let's take a look at on board with Jon Snow. He's 5.2 seconds behind Capellan. Does he have enough time to catch Capellan? Last lap was a 1:26.2. Capellan's last lap, a 1:26.3. So not making a ton of time the last lap. Let's take a look at Capellan coming down the hill here. He looks good through there. It's a tough, you know, Snow has much newer tires, much fresher tires, because he was the last guy to pit, so he took the long strategy. If nothing else, it's already paid off for him, running in 4th place. That's a good finish if this is where he finishes. But still some time left. Let's see what happens. Alright, now we're going to get on board with Doherty. He's only 2.7 seconds in front of Roman. Roman is reeling him in, and it's got to be a sickening feeling for Doherty because there's nothing he can do about it. With these tires, there's no way he can push any harder than he's pushing. He's managing to hold it together, but he just doesn't have the speed that Roman has. Down the hill. And you can see from Roman's on board, he has caught Mike Doherty. So this is for the lead of the race. 37 laps into the race, 2 different strategies. Mike Doherty on the original tires for the race. Jave Roman running fresher tires. Roman's pit strategy was pretty much down the middle. He wasn't the earliest, but he wasn't the latest. He waited a little bit later than a few guys, but he didn't go late like Jon Snow did. Speaking of Jon Snow, he has cut the lead, or cut Capellan's gap down to 4.2 seconds. Let's take a quick look to see where that's at. You can see Capellan up there. Oh, this is going to be an interesting finish for both of these guys. Roman really coming down on Doherty now. Almost gets off the track there. And Mike is just trying to hold it together. We know he's struggling with his tires. We know his lap times have not been terribly fast, but they have been terribly consistent. He's kept it lap after lap consistently the same speed, but Roman just has more speed. He's on much fresher tires. He was already the pole sitter, so he was already the fastest guy on the track coming into the race, and he's all over Doherty now. Can he safely make a move on Mike Doherty? You see how much Doherty had to slow down through that slow left-hander right there. He's really babying these tires, just managing to hold it together. It's a terrible feeling. I've been there. I'm sure many of you have been there when you're at the end of a race, you're being challenged and you don't have the tires to defend yourself. So Doherty's got to be just feeling miserable right now because all it takes is one mistake and his race is going to end really badly. Roman coming up really tight on him now. Dangerous part of the track right here. Keeping the pressure on Doherty. Very close in that braking zone. But Doherty's holding his own right now. He's keeping it together. Meanwhile, Capellan is still holding a 4-second gap on Jon Snow. Trying to watch the splits on that without leaving this battle. Let's take a look at these guys coming down the front stretch here. Roman doesn't have a move he can put on him right there. Oh, he's looking like he wants to try the inside, but just not quite able to get up next to him. Doherty on the outside of the turn, but holds it steady. Some good racing from these guys. It's especially hard to race this close whenever you're on completely different types of lap times, completely different types of tires. So Vroman is being slowed down a lot by Doherty right now. Vroman has no threat from Capellan though, so he's safe there. He's just got to figure out a way to get past Mike Doherty. 39 laps into the race. Vroman keeping the pressure on. Doherty runs wide, and this is going to be it right here. There goes Vroman, taking the lead with 39 laps completed in the race. He's on the 40th lap. Doherty doesn't have anything for him at this moment. He just doesn't have the ability to challenge with those tires. But we know that Mike is going to be there. He's going to be there. So if Jay makes a mistake, Doherty will be there to pounce on it. So can Jay finish this thing out? Crosses the line with 40 laps. Alright, let's take a look back at Jon Snow now. Snow has brought the lead, or the gap, down to 3.2 seconds on Capellan. Capellan in much the same position as Mike Doherty. He's just trying to hold on to it. Trying to hold off somebody with much better tires, running at a faster pace, just trying to hold on till the end of the race. Nice and smooth down the hill by Jon there. Jon Snow run a really good race. He led for a while with his long pit strategy. He was in the lead for a while, and his laps were consistent. They weren't the fastest laps because his tires were really worn, but they were very consistent. He's got quite a gap he's got to try to get on Capellan. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull that off. We're at 40 laps now. So we are approaching the end of this race very, very quickly. Let's take a look on board with Doherty. You can see Vroman up ahead. He's only 1.8 seconds off. He's not going to be able to do anything to pressure Vroman, but if Vroman makes a mistake, Mike is going to win another race. Doherty has won a lot in this league so far, and he's showing why right now. All it takes is one mistake by Jay Vroman, and he's going to win another race. His last lap was a 1:26.4. Jay's last lap was a 1:25.9, so about a half second separating these two guys. You see Jay get past the slower traffic there. Whoa, almost let the rear end come around right there coming up the hill. We don't want to see that. We want to see him finish strong. Such a great race by all these guys up here in the front. Everybody had a good race. Nice and clean. Good strategy. You look at Capellan, the recovery he's made from that spin earlier to still be in third place. Really good effort by him. You can see Jon Snow is there, but I don't think Jon is going to have enough time to do anything with Capellan. And we know if he catches Capellan, Capellan is not easy to pass. So that's going to be a tough task for him, trying to catch Capellan and then do something with him once he catches him. So here's Vroman. Jay coming around. He's getting the checkered flag. He's got the win. Mike Doherty behind him gets second. Let's take a look at these guys. Jon Snow got it down to a 2.6 second gap, but Alex Capellan is going to finish in third. He was able to hold him off just long enough, get just enough speed out of that Porsche to finish with a third place finish, got the podium. And great race by Jon Snow, using the long strategy, did a great job there. Mike Gerhardt, he's in fifth place. All the way down into second coming through that turn. He might be struggling with his tires a little bit right now. Yeah, it looks like he's struggling with his tires a little bit. He's got a 12-second gap on Kyle Masita. And Kyle Masita, oh my gosh, he's out of fuel. Oh, what a terrible way to end the race for Kyle Masita. A race that he was in the top three battling for so long. You see these guys here, they finished the race. They're just lapping around the track. Everybody's just kind of taking their final lap to finish up the race. What a great race, everybody. Let's take a look. Let's go all the way back. I always like to take a look back at why such a great race was possible. And a great race being possible like this, it starts with a great start. And to have a great start in a race like this where everybody's lap times were so close in qualifying, so close in practice, it takes clean driving and a lot of concentration from these guys. So let's take a look at this first lap again. We're going to ride on board with Capellan at the start. He's starting in third place. He got a great start. You can see to his left is Kyle Macedo. So here's Capellan. Third place. Mike Doherty on the left right there, starting in second. Jay's got him nice and steady coming down the front stretch. Everybody's holding tight, holding tight. Mike Gerhardt right behind Capellan right now. Behind us, we're on board with Capellan. And there's the green flag. And Vroman, he got a terrible start. Slow start. Mike Doherty jumps out in the lead, but then coming down the hill, Vroman recovers. Takes the lead back. Mike Doherty falls in line behind him. And here's Capellan trying to make a move around the outside. That's not going to work, so he's tightening up, trying to catch Jay. Vroman runs a little bit wide there. And Capellan's going to pull up alongside, and this is where he took the lead, which he would hang on to for about 15 to 20 minutes of this race. Alex Capellan really ran a good race. But you can see, looking back through the field, what a great start it was by everybody. Mike Doherty fell from second place all the way back to fifth. Kyle Macedo started in fourth, fell back to fifth, then takes fourth back. And as we know, a couple laps after this, he was in the top three and had a great race. So if you're wondering how you get a great race, that is exactly how you get it right there. You get a great race with a great start. That's where it all begins. And really, really happy to see all these guys run such a nice, clean race. Congrats to Jay Vroman, Mike Doherty, and Alex Capellan for finish on the podium. Congrats to Jay Vroman for the win. I hope everybody enjoyed watching the race, and catch us next week for our next race, which is at, I'm forgetting where the next race is at. It is, hold on, before I let you go, let me tell you where the next race is at. Next week's race, full race schedule for next week. Practice races on Friday, and then the full main event on Saturday. That is going to take place at Barcelona. So Barcelona is next week's schedule, and we look forward to seeing everybody race there. Look forward to see some more great racing from these guys. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great night.